Hi, I'm Deja.
And I'm Heaven.
And you're watching NTLB TV. So today we're here at a book signing with Cheri, Hines,
And Myron, Hines.
and we decided to come here to support Black-owned businesses because, of course, we need more audience. Anyway, with that being said, right here with me, I have Cheri's book called Never Forgotten. She is 21 years old. I won't go too into detail with the book since we are going to interview her later on in the show, but I would say it's a good read if you want to learn about someone that you basically never knew, and you'll learn about what I just said later on in the show as well.
And I have Myron Hines books. The first book is called Thin Air. The second one is Shooter. And the third one is Historical Journey of Cub Boulevard.
And we're back, and I am here, as well as Heaven is here with Brooklyn McKeithen, and she has bought both Shooter and Never Forgotten. So, could you tell us why you bought these two books?
I mainly purchased these books because I know how much effort was put into writing these books, and I wanted to support Black businesses. I purchased these specifically because I read Thin Air, and it was a good read, so I thought I would pick these two up.
So, again, I'm here with Cheri Hines, as I stated before, and Cheri, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
gosh.
You're welcome.
You should always ask. Be polite. Anyway, back to the thing. As I stated over there, well, while I was over there talking to the audience, I was saying that I don't want to go too far into the book that you have. Never Forgotten. I'm sorry, I'm fast. Okay, but could you please go over the book and why you wrote it?
Sure. Never Forgotten is a poetry collection that I wrote. When I was really young, about 2 years old, my mother passed away. And so this is kind of my way of continuing her legacy, but also getting to know her more, like you said. I interviewed her father, her sister, and her brother, and I took what they told me their feelings of grief over these last few years, well, more than a few years, have been, and I took that and put it into poetry from each of their perspectives. And I feel like it was a really great way of me learning more about my own grief and how grief is different in other people, but also the same. And it's a never-ending process because we are 20 years deep, and sometimes it still hurts.
Yeah. Wow. I'm speechless. Honestly, I'm speechless.
Thank you.
But do you have any favorite parts of the book, or like any of your favorite lines?
I think one of my favorite lines of the book is in a poem called The Prophecy, and it's the prophecy itself is that from the minute we are born, we begin to die, or we're destined to die. And I feel like, while it sounds a little morbid, it kind of gives you perspective of just live life to the fullest. So that's what I'm trying to do.
That's actually good.
You are, I never showed.
I just got out of high school.
It's okay, I just got out of college. We have
12
time.
years of my life.
We have time. It wasn't wasted. What are you
Wasted.
talking about?
Waste.
No.
But I'm not going to get in the school system. I really appreciate you for like writing this book, because if I decided to write a book about my father, I'd be kicked out the house.
You know?
It's a
You
lot.
gotta test the audience. You gotta
Yeah.
test the waters, you know? But I feel very lucky and blessed that I have family who supported me through this and helped me make it a thing. So,
And before anybody gets, oh, how old is she? She is 21, a young author, young Black author. Support Black businesses, please, and thank you. You should be a Black business if you're out there looking at this. Even if you're of other races, you should do your own thing. Build your own business. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. See, look, she get it. But how much is your book?
my book is $15. It is available on Amazon. It is also available on my website, chmarie.com. And yeah, it's $15.
As you heard, it is $15. You guys can purchase it on Amazon or on her website. And thank you so much for letting me interview you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming to my interview.
Hi, I'm Heaven, and I'm here with Myron Hines. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody. I'm just kidding. I spent 48 years in television. 48 years, so I understand what you have to go through. I write books because I've always wanted to leave something to prove that I was here. But I've always written, even when I was a child, I wrote poetry in high school. After I got married, poetry changed, but this kind of poetry was still poetry. Oftentimes, I tell people, my grandkids, keep a journal of some kind. Express your emotions on paper. You can always refer to them later. But I wrote 2 novels, Sprinkled in Reality, and I wrote a historical journal down Cobra War. It's a black community. Immigration changed the corridor, and the building mostly disappeared. So it was a community that you can go do anything you need to do without going out the community. Do your hair, barbershop, grocery stores, you know, if you needed it, taxi cab. If you needed it, it was there.
Okay, so can you tell the people where they can go buy them?
You can buy either one of my books, the Thin Air Shooter at Amazon.com, or you can buy any 3 of them from MyronKHines.com.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back next.
First of all, I have to thank my wife for allowing me the time to write the book because it was a time-consuming process. When I started writing Shooter, 15 years before I finished it, I wrote the outline for a while, put it down for 2 or 3 years, came back and did a couple of chapters. I put it down for years at a time and come back and address it. And finally, after I retired, I decided I'm going to finish this book. And so with 6 months, I finished it. So there it is.
And he is really telling the truth because I could look for Myron and all I had to do is look at his computer because I knew that's where I could find him. And it did. It took many, many, many years for him to finish this book. And I was reading The Shooter. It brought back a lot of childhood memories for me because he was bringing about parts in the book that I was very, it was personal to me too because I knew the streets and I knew the city and I knew the county.
For me, the character grows up in Panama City, and the experience that I did doing segregation that both of us who grew up in a period experience. The book is fiction, but it's sprinkled in reality.
Sprinkled in reality, especially when we were both in high school at the same time. And we went to high school during the beginning of desegregation. We were both in the 10th grade and it was very difficult for both of us. And this book, I think, brings about a part of him that I think was hidden for many years that he decided to bring out.
That's because it's not me. It's a character.
It may be a character, but I still think it's you.
It's fiction sprinkled in reality. My character is a single child. I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters. So it's a character. It may be a combination of me and some of my siblings.
I see it as a combination of you, your siblings, and your community, and your partners that you used to run with. All of those I see in this book.
Sprinkled in reality.
It's him, guys.
This is my brother George. And the main character in my book is George. I use my brother as a character because he grew up in Panama City doing segregation. He joined the army. And because I never joined the army, so all the parts about the army military, I got from him. So he can tell you who he is and if you're reading it.
Yes, sir.
2 chapters?
11 chapters. I'm not in a rush, I'm retired. Actually, I'm George Hines, I'm a retired military. And my brother used me as a fictitious member of his book. Some of my skills and some of his skills, and combined it tonight, write a book about the drummers alive, looking for love and justice.
I say love and justice because everybody needs love. So in his search for those who he becomes, he finds a love maker. And justice, later, my character becomes a hitman in the end. And he's looking for justice in that area. So he's looking for love and justice. And I don't know if he finds either one.
But he found the skills to be a killer, so that brings love in one. Because everything dies at the end.
Love and killing?
Yes. When you die, your loved ones suffer.
Okay.
That's it. Life and death. Thank you, ma'am.
That is justice.
The woman in me. Black woman, she breathes. Womb, her strength and nourishment. Man, the contributor and benefactor. Lotus flower, self-regeneration and rebirth. Wine, classy. Black women, no matter what life brings our way, we will continue to stand as the powerful Black women that we are. As Black women, we are versatile and confident in our skin. As Black women, we realize that doing everything in decency and in order is not enough in today's society and refuse to stand at the rear, but side by side, if not in the front. As Black women, we do not need someone to put us on a pedestal. We have already done that for ourselves. As Black women, it takes a lot of willpower and strength, emotionally and mentally, to leave our homes daily with a smile only to face the stereotypical and the microaggression of others. As Black women, our maternal mortality rate, we are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related reasons than Caucasian women. Value our womb. The Black woman's mental health has heightened and suffered from the effects of frequent police brutality and the killing of our offspring. As Black women, we are called angry, told we are too masculine, too independent, too dark, that we are not beautiful, that we are not smart enough, that we are violent and lack self-control. While looking at all the different shades and shapes of Black women, I see love, beauty, compassion, class, patience, power, intellect, shelter, success, strength, persistence, passion, and poise. Welcome to the Woman and Me Show, where the main focus is on Black women being mindful and owning their limitless life. We will guide your emotional wellness, stabilize your mental balance, improve your thoughts, encourage you to manifest your purpose, communicate and speak with authority, and elevate your stride. We will validate the breakthroughs after breakdown experiences of past pains and trauma. Join us as we respect her crown, be mindful, and breathe. The Woman in Me.
Cousin of Latoya, the one that Cheri had written the book about.
From what I heard, you were inseparable. So
yes,
I say that your assumption is correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So they tried to separate us. The 2 older siblings. They always tried to separate us. Always lied on us. We were the best children that we could be at that time.
And nothing else was expected?
Yes, that's correct. That's accurate. And so when I had read the book, honestly, I could not get through the first poem because it was her beginning and the beginning of her end. So I couldn't get
as you can see, which is kind of one of the reasons I wrote the book, grief never ends. It's been close to 2 decades now, and everyone I know who has been touched by this tragedy, the loss that we've all experienced, it continues. It never really goes away. And a lot of times people say that grief is like it has stages, or it's 7 steps, or you should only take a year to grieve. But it's not something that you can simply get over because it doesn't change. And so hopefully I feel that for at least my family or those who knew her, through reading this book, they can have another piece of her back. And for those who never even knew her, maybe they can take pieces of the book and relate it to someone that they lost, and realize that no one's really alone when it comes to grieving. So
Okay, so I did, so what I wanted to say, I did want to let you know that I could not read the entire book, so I couldn't get through the first poem because that was her beginning and the beginning of her end. So with us being so close, you know, that kind of brought a lot of things to light, you know, for me. But I mean, it brought back a lot of happy memories also. They're not all bad, you know, because when I look at the front, I just see her smile, you know. Chocolate chip is what my grandma, late Katie Hines, called her.
yeah, Cousin Andre has inherited the name to me, so he calls me chocolate chip. So
Yeah, so that's, you know, that was my teaching. So yeah, I mean, it is an amazing book because it tells the story of who she was up to her eyes, and you know, and I commend you on that, because you were not the missing piece to the puzzle, but you brought back a lot of things that were not forgotten but not talked about as well. So I do commend you on writing this and having that strength to write this book and the courage to keep her going.
yeah, the book started as a school project, so it was a lot easier to write because none of them know me. But then when it came to the decision to like actually release the book and then like have family and or friends proof it or edit it along the way, it was kind of like, am I really gonna kind of release this into the world? And then I decided, you know, it wasn't about me per se, but it was more important to get her story out there and to let other people know that grief isn't wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's for life, but I do want to continue this book, read more, because you said you got the idea from Karde'Ja Hines and George Hines, George Hines Jr. and so forth. So I do want to continue on and read more of this because I know some things that Tavia may have said that may not be true, because you know she's always there's a reason why we were in trouble. Her and Tracy Hines. So I do want to, you know, read through this. Yes, and let you know the truth. Of course. Okay.
if I need to edit anything, just let me know. You know?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The truth hurts sometimes.
Sometimes it does.
told.
It does, you know. The truth sets us free.
That's right.
That's what they
Amen.
say. Amen.
That's Karen Hines in the house.